who plays for the Roosters, who played in the same
Yeah.
game tonight, he's third or fourth on the list. So he's about 20 or so behind him. I thought that was really interesting. Two of the top five were playing tonight. Um, and yeah, that record. Slater got close. Billy Slater, he got 190 before he retired. So yeah, that's interesting. It's funny who's on there,
The
and
myth
Steve
that
Menzies.
the myth that is JT.
Yeah, Steve Menzies, the Beaver, he got about 180 or 190, so that's good for a forward. But he played a lot of his career at centre as well. He was pretty versatile.
Yeah, all
But yeah,
right.
it's I was a bit worried how the fans would go storming onto the field. They do it in AFL, but AFL their ground is circular. Ours is a rectangle, and he generally scores in the corner. I was worried yeah, it could get out of control fast if they sort of swarm him in the corner, but it actually helped him because it was easy to sort of get him off the field and into the tunnels. So it actually, whereas Buddy Franklin, he kicked his 1,000th goal in the AFL a couple of years ago, and it took like an hour to get him off because although the MCG or wherever it was a larger capacity than tonight's ground. But yeah, no, it was great. It was and I think what's going to get overlooked, it was a fucking banger of a try. um, it was a terrific try. I didn't want him to sort of fall over, sort of limp dick, just fall over the line and break
Like
the
just
record.
barely do it. Like it looks
Yeah,
accidental.
yeah, no, it was a cracker of a try. Uh, so yeah, no, what a wonderful, like I love that, and you just see it in these occasions, like just every thousands of people had so much goodwill, and for just one other person and their accomplishments, and because you rarely see it, that's why it's so special, you know.
The alcohol buzz certainly helps.
Yeah, well, South ended up losing. I guess they were very flat after that moment. Because it's funny because they were just so amped, and then once he got it, they were very flat coming back out after the field had been cleared, and the Roosters got him in the end. So, but yeah, cracker of a game. Um, yeah, it's done now. um, I remember back in 1999 in AFL, a plugger, Tony Lockett, was going to kick his 1300th goal, and like in the press, 5 days to go, 4 days to
It was
go, and
like, and it like never happened.
yeah, he kept fucking it up. So the counter would restart, and he finally got it like a month or two later. But yeah, that was all the talk this week that he would get the record, and he got it. So yeah, no, great stuff.
Whoa, shit! I forgot about this fucking fight. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't like it when they do that shit, when they start hyping it like right up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like records typically get broken when no one's trying to do them.
Yeah, well, there was just chatter all during the week because he scored twice tonight. He had to equal the record and then break it. And what if there's some dumb fuckwit in the crowd who's pissed and doesn't realize it, and they just storm the field if he's equaled the record. But no, everyone was good. He he got the first try, and then he scored another one quickly after half time, and then all hell broke loose. So yes, because he's so unassuming. He's been in that team a long time, but yeah, he just quietly goes about his business. And it was mainly the COVID years that got him the record. He In 2020 and 2021, he had 2 seasons where he scored over 30 tries, and that just really rocketed him up the list where he was within striking distance of the record. Um, so yeah, but we're seeing lots of records get broken um, these days. Like it was incredibly rare growing up as a kid watching the game for a player to play 300 games. Like that was like just breathing
How
rare
does
air.
that work, man? Hey,
Well,
you think of
there's
it
so
like
much better
what? It's like
now.
it's 80 minutes a pop, and you start timesing that by 300. Fuck the man. Like that's almost like a life sentence out on the field.
Yeah, the way they smash their bodies around, but it was rare air, there's like just a handful of players that have done it, but I guess these days they're so good with health and nutrition and looking
Mm.
after themselves. Now there's like 50, 60, probably 100, 300 gamers. Um, well, 400 is the new 300. Only one player has played over 400, so maybe as they get fitter and stronger, these records will start tumbling and we'll have a new paradigm.
History is written by the living, mate, not what actually happened.
Yeah, history is written by the winners. That's what they say.
Come out, you fuck.
So, how's things in the world of Resident Evil?
It's alright. You know, now that everyone's through the honeymoon phase, I'm just doing the Krauser fight. I can't really remember much about this fight. I mean, because the last time I played it, I was 14 years old. So I'm like double the age that I was the last time I did this. And I've realized that I haven't quite got the spring in my step that I used to. It's going alright. It's been interesting seeing some of the reactions, though, to that Resident Evil 9. I guess now that because we're out of the honeymoon phase of it now, oh, not as good as you remember,
Yeah,
is where we're getting at, and how it was better 20 years ago. I honestly just think, mate, the like how long has it been? What I think this year is the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil.
yeah,
Um, like, what do you want me to say about it, man? Like, I still haven't picked up the new one. I never bothered playing 8. I thought Resident Evil 7 was fun, but for all intents and purposes, it's a fucking hard reboot, is what it is. It's not really continuing or following much of anything. It's pretty much hit the reset button, and I never really bothered with 8. And when I got a good taste of what 7 was like, I just sort of realized, well, that's it. I mean, when Wesker got killed at the end of 5, that's it. Like, as far as this series goes now, that's pretty much the conclusive chapter, right? Like, it doesn't really matter where it goes. I mean, like, they can still be fun and scary and all that good stuff, but I'm seeing a lot of it's not overhyped, don't believe it, all this sort of shit. I'm like, after everyone talking about the fucking it was like the second coming of Christ, and we're out of the honeymoon phase now. Um,
yeah,
so I mean, now that we're over all the glitz and glamour of it, we can start having an honest conversation. I mean, like, God, if you think it was fun, well then bang, like, don't fucking explain it to anyone.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I am enjoying this. I was looking to have it finished, but it's just been such a fucking hectic week.
yeah,
You know, and so last week, I mean, we're going to be on break again soon anyway, so I'll be able to stream a bit more regularly. I wanted to have this thing wrapped up like 2 weeks ago because I wanted to do Fall of Cybertron, but I thought it might have been a bit full on to have done 2 Transformers games back to back.
yeah. It'll be good to discuss them because I think there's some common DNA. Both Resident Evil fans, Transformers fans are living in. I was reading a little bit about Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, and
Oh,
just like,
that's the movie, isn't it? I think.
yeah, I was reading about how it flopped. It's very faithful to the games. Even I think it's set in the 90s, mid to late 90s, and it just wasn't well received. Paul W.S. Anderson's movies did kind of like what's going on with Michael Bay. Yeah, they bring out Transformers 1, which is like a lot more faithful, and like audiences just don't respond to it. Like Michael Bay's films do better than it. So you've got this weird kind of similar phenomenon happening where they make an effort to be more faithful to appease the hardcore fans, and the general audience just don't go for it. Like
Yeah,
because it always kind of amuses me how people rag on the Resident Evil films. Yes, they're not good films, but something else is drawing people to this series. It ran for 14 years and had 6 films, and the series has grossed over $1 billion. I would love to fail like that.
See, but
I
this
mean,
is
if
what
that's a
I mean.
failure,
Like
sign me up.
it had like what 6 or 7 fucking entries. I think. Like I don't
Yeah,
think you can fluke that.
yeah, and it's got one that I always love seeing this. Like anything billed as the final installment, and there's one after it. You know, like Resident Evil, the final chapter, and I believe there was
Shit.
one more after it. I love that shit.
I always love. There's one called Resident Evil Afterlife, and there's a fucking title after that.
Yeah.
God, I hate this fucking stupid fight with all of my soul. But anyway, we're here now. Uh, yeah, and I actually don't mind the. I rewatched the first Resident Evil movie, the W.S. Anderson one, and I mean, like, okay, first things first, we got to get it out there. Of course, it doesn't fucking hold up. It was from 2002.
Yeah.
Um, there are massive things in that movie that have aged like piss vinegar. But what do you expect?
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
the
it's
reason why
like I
the
said,
Anderson, I
it's
think the reason why the Anderson movies though work as well as they did and had so many chapters is because you didn't need to play any of the fucking games to go into them. I think that's
yeah,
why they worked. And like, Alice is not a character from any of the games, true. But I think that's sort of the reason why it works. Is because if you just have a made up character for the movies, then you can follow that from now on. Because there's nothing more asinine than some 35 to 40-year-old guy screaming, that's not how Leon would act. Leon is, and Chris and Jill and Claire, they're not actually characters the way people argue they are. They're stand ins for how you play the game. It's sort of like how Link in The Legend of Zelda isn't a character. He's literally a link for the player to act in this world.
yeah,
Like, so, like, it's the survival horror choices that the player makes in the realm of that character. Like, they're not really these fucking like, oh, they wouldn't do that. It depends on who's playing.
yeah,
Makes up what the character actually does, or have we lost that?
yeah. And well, fans kind of got their wish eventually because I think Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine make their appearance eventually. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, it's but I think you mentioned it hasn't aged well, and that's true. But I think one of the reasons it did last as long as it did is that evolved and adapted with the movie landscape. Like it's very much of its time, early 2000s horror with, you know, in the realm of 28 days later kind of thing, but like they evolved as they went on. Like the third one is post-apocalyptic, and so by the um, sort of 2010s, they're very sort of they it was made differently to the earlier installments. I think that's one of the reasons to its longevity. He evolved, he changed his approach as the series went on. And it seems paradoxical, but I think you're right. It's the fact that they are different from the games is I think it's because on the surface it sounds weird, but it just seems to work. It's weird how that works.
Yeah, I think the whole why don't they just see, because this is why I used to think that way a lot about shit like this. Why don't they just make it the way that it is in the game? Well, I can just go and play the fucking game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that always annoys me that. Like, it's one of the criticisms I see about. Like, I know there's this Zelda movie that's coming out, but for the longest time, people were like, I don't trust Hollywood not to make Link a non speaking character, so I'm going to try to imagine him speaking in this. And I'm like, yeah, all right, fair enough, I guess. That's an all right criticism and all of that. But then they'll follow it up with the closer to the games that it is, the worse it's going to be. So I'm like, well, what the fuck do you want then? Like, like you're confusing me. Just let me put the ball in the hole. Fucking. Oh, it does my head in. You know, but Resident Evil is one of my, as far as those movies go, they are my exhibit A into the whole, oh, as long as it's faithful to the source material. As soon as I hear fucking the word source material come out of anyone's mouth, I just glaze over. man, like, get that droid from Police Massa coming out. He's lost the will to live. Like, God.
I
You know,
remember.
it's similar to when I say Batman Forever is the best version of Batman I've ever seen. You know, like that's my favorite Batman movie, and then someone will fucking come along and be like, "Oh, but Batman wouldn't do that." Well, that implies there's a definitive take on the character, and I don't think there is one, mate. Yeah, but as far as these go, I mean, like, Resident Evil, yeah, so what? I think that Welcome to Raccoon City, what does it do? It adapts the first two games, I believe.
Yeah, but actually proper set in the era they came out in.
Which is understandable because Leon's in this new game and he's like 50 something years old. I'm like, well, if he was knocking around in his like early to mid 20s back in 98 when he appeared in the second game, like the timeline sort of works out because we're 30 years removed from that. So, you know, like he'd be late 40s, early 50s now. And I'm glad that
Yeah,
he's not some prissy, pretty boy forever. Like Capcom are pretty good like that. Um,
yeah,
you know, so like he's an old man. He's middle aged now, so I don't think he's going to be pulling off ninja spin kicks the way that he's doing in this game from 21 years ago. Oh shit. I just hope that they really stick with it and keep doing their thing. But yeah, like I'm in no rush to go out and play this new one. I mean, it looks interesting. I mean, but you know, I don't really know how much more. Like we're talking about Resident Evil 9. Oh no, was it Resident Evil Requiem?
yeah,
What's it a Requiem for?
yeah. That's the title of it. Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah,
Requiem.
yeah, Alien versus Predator Requiem. What's it a Requiem for? Yeah, all right, I guess. Um, but I suppose, I mean, the real stars of the series have got to be the monsters, right? Like it's the different creature. Like I believe what Ian Glenn is in Resident Evil Extinction, and he plays the fucking tyrant from the first game. So
Yeah,
it's funny, like the first one, while the first Resident Evil W.S. Anderson movie doesn't feature any characters from the game. Oh, I hate these quick time events. I got to pay attention to these things. Um, Obviously, the feedback is there, and you know well, the Nemesis is incorporated and Jill is incorporated in Resident Evil Apocalypse, so he does listen to some of their gripes. Like 2 was entertaining, but it didn't have any of the characters that you'd expect in it. Oh well, all right then. Well, then they're in the sequel.
yeah. I think Ali Lata plays Jill Valentine.
Uh, I think it's Sienna Gilroy who does that. I think Ali Larter was Claire Redfield,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
That's right.
Wentworth Miller rocks up as Chris down the line. Oh, and the other one was Oded Fair as Carlos, which was
Yeah,
interesting because Carlos is like barely 20 years old in the game, but for the movie they went with an older bloke. Um,
yeah.
well, I say thank God for that decision because Oded Fair is the coolest thing to come out of the W.S. Anderson movies. Yeah, I hate this fucking fight. I don't really know what the fuck it is I'm doing here. Yeah, I don't remember Krauser being this much of a cunt, but clearly, my memory isn't quite what it was. Alright, I'm just fucking spreading it on at the moment. These quick time events, fucking hell. Have you fired up the old Steam Deck lately? You been playing anything?
Oh yeah, a bit patchy, but yeah, I'm about 80, 85% done. I'm creeping forward, inching closer to finishing Doom. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what to play next. I've got choice paralysis because you just have so many more options on the Steam Deck. Um,
Have you
so
have you fired it up docked yet?
um, yeah, once or twice just to sort of test it out on the big TV. But yeah, I mainly play it sort of handheld. But I would love to get into BattleTech more, and you can play those games now on Steam Deck. But yeah, it's just a matter of time, hey.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. Like, case in point, the last two times I've managed to play a fucking game was when we sat down to have a chin wag. Like, I mean, I just don't have time. The way, like, it's sort of another reason why I never bothered with Resident Evil 9. I'm like, because I mean, I could buy it now for the extortionate price that it is, but I'm not gonna have any time to play it.
yeah, but yeah, lots of cool stuff. I was excited as well to see that there's a Carmageddon game on Steam, and I want to play that as well. So yeah, just too many
Fucking hell.
games, not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, no, there's not, is there? Fucking hell. I hate poxy fucking boss fights. Depending on how far back this takes me. Hang on, was that the last piece that I needed? I can't remember. I was paying absolutely no fucking attention. Okay, mate. So I tried to sit down and give Bone Temple the watch, man. I didn't finish it, man. I tapped out. Like, I mean, I gave it a red hot crack. You
Well,
know,
you can't ask for much more than that, can you?
like, I knew it wasn't gonna be what I wanted. I did my best to turn that off. I put a lot of elbow grease into it. But this shit just isn't for me. This fucking getting all deconstructionist crap. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I pretty much tapped out at the dancing scene. Oh, bullshit! I
Well,
fucking
you may have sort of about 10 or 15 minutes to go from there. You should have stuck with it.
probably, but the Jimmy Crystal shit, fuck out of here. Like none of that stuck with me at all. Like the fingers and nah, man, nah, it wasn't for me. I mean, I'll just YouTube the Killian Murphy scene, like which is probably what I should have done. Not that it adds to anything. Like, yeah, I man, like this was sort of the reason why yeah, nah. I think I was just so much more interested in what that world could look like 28 years down the line, and I mean, we're getting just random fucking cracks at it. I don't know. Like, what happens to a zombie-infested planet? Like, I know it's not the entire planet and all that kind of stuff. See, but that's another thing as well. Like, oh no, it's limited to just Great Britain and all this kind of thing. I'm like, all right, is that gonna become a thing, or are you just gonna keep saying that? Like, I don't know, man. It's just not for me.
Yeah, well, I would love that to happen. If it ends with a cure and they're welcome back into the world, that would be fantastic for me. These movies rarely end on an optimistic, positive note because that really bugged me from the first film, where they have the text explaining that yeah, they've basically just abandoned them. So the whole world's just living a lie. We're pretending that everything is rosy and it isn't. And there is sort of evidence of that with the soldier who is marooned on the island. you get the impression that the world has just continued on as normal, but it's yeah, something about that just rubbed me the wrong way. So if a cure, but what I like about it at the moment is all options are on the table. They can do whatever they like if it's like everything's up in the air. And again, people were unhappy about that, but I think it was by design. This could just be something that affects Samson as an alpha. A cure may not even be possible for the other sort of strains of it. We don't know if it's permanent, or whether it will wear off when the drugs wear off him. And people were unhappy about that on Reddit, but I think that's by design because it's when they sit down to write the third one, they're going to do like if the story works best, if it's permanent, they'll do that. If it's going to be something that wears off and it's only fleeting and momentary, they'll do that. But it's very much in, I think it's in tone with both sort of those two endings would be really in tone with what they've got. I can easily imagine both of them happening. So yeah, we'll see how it happens. But it would be it would really fit that sort of dark streak in that universe that they've stumbled upon a cure, but they're in no position to take advantage of it. That would really fit in well with that universe. But so would it be being discovered and manufacturing it and harnessing it and perfecting it. So yeah, it's still a bit up in the air as we close in on the third chapter.
Yeah, because I know the complaints that you're talking about because someone was like, so it's awesome that Doctor Kelson has been experimenting with this and developing this treatment for a while now. Now that he's dead, and there's next to no documentation about it, or if there was, it was gone when the Bone Temple was destroyed. Like, all right then. So, see, because this is something that really pissed me off with that final Evangelion rebuild movie. We spend a good chunk of that following around Ray Q, and then she just gets her head fucking blown off by the DSS collar. I think it is. Like, all right then. So we spent 40 minutes of this movie developing a character that you just fucking murdered. Like, all right, we couldn't have done that doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't stand shit that does that. And yeah, that was sort of the thing that I was getting with the Bone Temple. I love movies that make me think, what is the fucking point in this? Life is bullshit, I can't take it anymore, sign the dead guy.
Yeah. Lifesux.
Yeah, you're gonna die a bad speller. Yeah, I always love when he pulls the gun on him. New word. New word!
That's his suicide note. Life sucks.
Like, doesn't he kiss him as well? Like
Yeah.
when he puts it in his pocket? Life sucks.
You're gonna die a bad
Yeah,
spell.
you're gonna die a bad speller. Alright. Yeah, I think we still got a lot of bullshit to do. Yeah. What? What? uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just such a. It was, I've because I was listening back to some of the audio that you had the last time we were having a chat about 28 years, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that one, and then I'm gonna go into Bone Temple to keep a lot of that stuff fresh in my mind. I don't know how you can do that, man.
Well, I'm glad I did because
Maybe that was the
if,
trick to it, because I just went straight into Bone Temple. I'm like, yeah, I just remembered years didn't really sit right with me.
yeah, well, I'd completely forgotten about particularly a lot of the stuff with Ray Fiennes' character, who I enjoyed much better this time around. I thought, and yeah, this is kind of unpopular to say. I thought that the Bone Temple was better directed than the first one that Danny Boyle did. And I don't think it was slightly better directed. I think it was much, much better directed. It was much more focused. So yeah, the kind of got a bit of a problem because Danny Boyle's coming back for the third film, and they're probably better off letting Nia DaCosta do it. Because I thought she got a much better performance out of Ray Fiennes than Danny Boyle did.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I just thought it was a lot more focused than the first installment. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah, interesting times, and I'll yeah bring it to a conclusion. I think there's a yeah, I don't know. I'll stick around for the third one, and then yeah, you can finally sit down and watch them back to back to back the way they were intended. And yeah, because I forgot about the baby completely. And yeah, it was worth revisiting mainly for Ray Fiennes' storyline because it is obvious he's trying things and he's got theories and yeah and the film sort of brings this to the surface level where they talk about what life was like before the outbreak, and you get these little glimpses, these little flashes of how he used to be. Like he's got a theory on the virus and how it works. He's got a theory about, the effects and if they can be reversed, like the old doctor part of him that he thinks is dead is still there. So I thought that was a lot better and more satisfying to me because the first film was fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, one of the things that brought the movie down was Spike. I thought he was really good in the first one, but yeah, he lacked a lot of agency in the second one. Obviously, there's a point to it. He's being held captive by Jimmy's gang. But I enjoyed him much better in the first one than this time around. So it's, I guess, swings and roundabouts.
Where is that prick hiding? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is going on? Okay, that's great and all. What the hell? Why is my controller going all weird? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain I'm pretty right. Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is like not even in the Bone Temple, right?
No, and that surprised me. Not only that, but that whole plot is put on hold. We never cut back to the island community, which surprised me. And I found it interesting after Spike and one of the fingers who turns good escape, they elect to just push on their own. They don't go back to safety to the island community. Uh, and that's how they encounter Killian Murphy. They just continue on exploring alone, and eventually they stumble across Jim's home. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I would have thought after the ordeal he's been through, Spike would want to go back to relative safety, but he didn't do that. So that surprised me. I guess I like to be surprised.
Yeah, the guy screws women while they're barfing. Yeah, he's just really sweet.
Well, I thought that's how the two films would start to coalesce and then gear up for the third one. Those two plots would start to merge and become one, but that is not what happened at all. So,
So, are
um,
you in the boat of this should have been what they opened with?
I've heard that bandied about quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. There is some merit in it, but ultimately I'm on the side of no, mainly because of Samson's character and his little arc. I think you lose that if you don't show just how brutal and savage he is in the first film. So it's quite a departure to see him, uh, regain his humanity and then start to talk again. I think you'll lose a lot of that oomph and power if you pick up with the Bone Temple.
Yeah, so you basically need to see him rip some guy's head off, cord and all, for it to hold. Yeah.
Well, just how, yeah, but there's also little hints and glimpses in there because, like, you see the infected washing in the river, and it's like this weird little society they've established. It's Yeah, it's interesting. And again, I'd completely forgotten about that. So there's definitely something cooking there, whether it's whether they're developing an immunity or whether they're slowly healing. I don't know. It has been 3 decades, so it's maybe the virus is changing or mutating.
Okay, I just want to point out people downvoted the fuck out of Resident Evil 6, right? And Resident Evil 5. Basically because of oh, it's not survival horror, it's an action shooter. They need to go back to like what the first 4 games did. Right now, I've got a helicopter giving me missile and fucking air support and all sorts of shit. I don't know why I'm lagging so much though. Um, there is a zombie using a minigun. There are zombies using cattle prods. There are zombies using RPGs. This was an action franchise long fucking before 5 and 6 came along.
Yeah.
Getting sick of these assholes not dropping any ammo. Yeah, presumably a version of Superman that has scissors for hands. Fucking hell. Okay, are they gonna kill this idiot on the minigun, or am I just, you know, you're gonna piss me off all day? One of these loser fucking Morat kids. Don't come here to shop, you come here to hang out all day.
It's one of these fucking loser Morat kids.
Yeah, you know, I say that all the time. Well, I've got no respect for people with no shopping agenda. Come back, you punts. What the hell is going on? Why is that not killing him? Fucking... Yeah. I want to point out this is a fully upgraded Blacktail. I dropped that guy on his fucking head and it still took like 8 rounds to kill him. Yeah, got to get that in that update there. Alright, did they actually kill that? Yeah, alright. I don't know why that took so fucking long. Yeah, just whack on a bit of Bulletstorm. How's it going, assholes? You know, I've never really considered video games high art. Because shit like that has been around for a long time. Like, I've always looked at games as just dumb fucking fun. I can't remember what was the turning point when we suddenly started comparing them to movies. Oh, it's about the story, it's about the intrigue. No, it's not. It's to fucking waste time. You know, like, oh god. Yeah, it's about the characters and, you know, the arcs and all this kind of shit. Like, no, it's fucking not.
Yeah, I want real human drama.
No,
Look, dude, you're probably not gonna find it here.
like, when I hear shit like that, yeah,
I
you know,
know.
because the characters were real. We're talking about Resident Evil 9. Like, the fuck you talking about? Like, are you trying to piss me off? Yeah, real human drama. You know, like they'll play a clip from fucking Over the Top, and then they'll have a caption saying "Back when men were men," and it's an oiled up fucking Sylvester Stallone. Like, all right, if that's the measuring bar you want to go off of. But it's like what you were saying. It's this lie that we sort of tell ourselves over and over again. I love it when people tell me the story's weak, and then you look at what they're talking about, and then they're talking about a video game, and then I just laugh my ass off. They'll be like, Gears of War 4. It's not character driven because it's Gears of War. You're supposed to just go and kill shit until it's time to go to work or school. Like, that's what the game's designed to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where that big bastard is hiding. Where the oh, no, there he is there. Alright, fair enough. Wait a minute. Let me just use the Killer 7 on this guy. This should put him down. Yeah, I love using the Magnum. I'll have to splash some coin on this. Wait a minute, if I shoot that, will that work? No. Well, okay. What's a video game you've played that was actually, going off of their words, was character driven, where the entire personality of the character wasn't up for you to decide? You know what I mean? Like people will say something like Prototype or Infamous. Well, the problem with those games is that the main character is a stand-in for you. Like it's such a hard thing. Like, they say, oh yeah, I love the main character and that, you know, like I love their development over the course of the game. But you are that character though. Like, I've always found that weird when they've talked about that. I'm trying to think, when have you ever played as a main character where they're not a go-between for you and the main world that they're in? Like, that's why I don't like the language that people use when they're talking about video games. Like, they talk about them like they're movies. Well, it's a completely different medium. Like, you are the main character, you know? Like, what you decide to do in the game dictates that character's personality. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Because a lot of those good, bad choices are just really superficial at the end of the day. It's you're mainly, um, yeah. I didn't mind Infamous because they were pretty good games. It's a shame they're hardly ever available anymore. They came out in the PS3 era, and I think it was Insomniac or one of them. They have no real interest in sort of keeping it current, which is a shame because it was an original IP. Uh, sort of, it was superpowers, but not sort of
Oh, you
superhero.
fuck! Yeah, I'm listening, yeah.
Um,
Because that was when you could choose to be a hero or a villain, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a shame that it seems to have kind of faded away because it was a pretty good game. Yeah, some of the powers in it. Probably the game for me that's probably done it best was probably BioShock 1, where you seemingly take on the role of a character named Jack, and there's a pretty significant twist, and you can only really do it in a video game. It's why I read with interest they're gearing up to put BioShock the film back into planning and production. There's a twist in it about a third or halfway through that you can really only do in a game, and it had these ideas that maybe they'd done before, but I'd never encountered them. You know, the player being the one to initiate a boss fight, for example, whereas in most games it goes to a cutscene and then it loads and you've got no choice but to fight. Whereas BioShock, when you encounter a big daddy, they don't automatically attack you. So you can get your surroundings and map out the terrain and lay your traps, and then yeah, just take a swing at it or take a shot at it to engage a boss fight. Uh, that was really cleverly done. And not relying on cutscenes, full stop, to carry a story. The story of the the story of Bioshock, it's told through the audio recordings, the audio diaries left around, and they're really fascinating to sort of piece together what happened, and you get little clues in the background and the environments about what happened and the fall of Rapture and what's really going on. So it didn't spoon feed you, and I like that, and which makes the world. Does Bioshock get a lot of raps because it's a good world, or does it get a lot of raps because it forces you to explore the world and doesn't hold your hand and all the way through? Like I love exploring every room and every hall and corridor, and because yeah, you never know what you'll find. Um, so yeah, that's probably the game that's done it the best, where you seemingly like the point you mentioned about the whoever you play being a conduit for you.
Yeah.
Bioshock 1 was the only game that's ever done anything interesting with that aspect of gaming. But I can't talk about it until you've played it and see that twist.
Oh, I'm sure it can be done. It's just a lot of the examples that people give for it, I don't think are particularly good ones. Like, I wouldn't put any of the Legend of Zelda games in that. You know, because Link has no personality. Like, I wouldn't say, I mean, the characters around him have their arcs and their whatever have yous. Um, but by and large, the main character doesn't. Because you're the star of those adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, we need to get over there somehow. Magnum rounds. They're gonna come in handy. Yeah, this part of the game loses the fucking plot. You'll get no arguments from me there. I think that's another reason why I've been putting off playing Resi 4 again for a while, because this just... Like, this is a completely different fucking game at this point compared to the one that we were playing like 4 weeks ago. Yep, alright, now this is where we get our get out of jail free card. Like, I was gonna say, like, what's a video game that has an, like, I mean, like I reckon the Arkham games are all really good with their story. That Batman does have an arc, but as far as the character input goes with Batman in those games, it's as far as how you, it's basically how you carry out takedowns, right? And how you handle a situation, but the cutscenes are what ends up carrying that. So the only input the player has over the character of Batman in those games is purely how he handles a situation, not the overarching story.
Yeah, because it's clever how it ties into the story.
Yeah,
Is it in Arkham because he's infected with that death serum?
yeah,
So
the Titan
yeah,
formula thing. Yeah,
so that's basically his anchor that he can't leave. He can't leave the confines of the game story.
yeah, and as far as like that's what I mean. Like, because when someone says like that's a very good, well put together, character driven game, I agree with that 100% because it's very good at Batman as the main character, and that isn't because the player is playing as him. Like, the only say that the player has over how Batman carries himself in the story is purely through the gameplay of doing the takedowns
Yeah,
and the boss battles, but the story as is, no matter what the player does during any of those sections, sways that.
yeah,
So, like, you're along with Batman for the ride. Um, of those stories. Like you're not actually the main. Like Batman is the main character. You're just going along with him.
Yeah.
I think that's the why those games are sort of the exception to it. And I would argue like your Devil May Cry's are a lot like that as well.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Whereas when you get a character that's, it's like, because I remember one was people talking about how Pokemon Trainer Red would act, and I'm like, Red is a mute that you play as. He's got no personality. What are you talking about? Like, oh, Red wouldn't use Pokemon like that. Red uses whatever the fuck the player decides they want to use. Like, Red's not a character the way people argue that he is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, yeah, it's interesting how, but this goes to show you like the difference in like what a format does. I don't think it's just something interesting that's been like I've noticed over recent years is that why do people talk about video games like they're reviewing a movie? Like it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the main character was boring. Was the main character boring, or were you just shit as the main character? Because those are two separate things, man. Like, you see, that's what I mean. Like, you can't just sort of say that because that is something you do have control over, right? Like, oh yeah, well this character is boring. Well, if that's who they've anchored you to play as through this entire story, I think you're the problem.
Yeah.
Pearl pendant. God, I don't know why the fucking ammo's so scarce. Past the buck. Yeah, well, I disagree. I think it was very realistic. It's like when people talk about that Paramount Halo adaptation where he unmasks himself in the first like 2 seconds after the prologue or whatever. But even when he's in the full-on ensemble, people are like, Master Chief wouldn't behave that way. Master Chief has no personality. He kills shit. He's like Doom Guy.
Yeah.
Let's find out Doom Guy's origin. Doom Guy has no origin. Whatever you did for a job today before you knocked off and came home to play some Doom, that's Doom Guy's origin.
Yeah. Yeah, the Doom guy, the Doom Slayer.
We have to get that parasite out of your
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that was one that you were keen to get around to on the deck. What's the new one called? Like fucking Prime Ages, Dark Ages, fucking
Yeah, I think it's the Dark Age,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, like he's holding a sword and shield or something. Like it
Yeah.
looks insane. To be
Yeah, it
honest
looks
with
really
you.
good, doesn't it? Yeah.
I never got a. I finished Doom 2016 and I did play Eternal for a little bit. But yeah, I probably should get around to the Dark Ages.
Yeah, it looks mad, yeah.
I mean, but that's another one for me. Like, I mean, like the real stars of the Doom game, like the Doom series, is the monsters, right? Like, your imps, your Archviles, your Mancubus. You like it's the like I've always been under the impression that the real stars of Doom were the villains.
Yeah, there's just been some iconic designs. Yeah, going back to the legendary first game, all the monsters in Doom 2, uh, it just, made them even better. And yeah, I don't think there's a single dud in any of them really. When they all got, and that's the thing, they haven't really, like when it made the conversion to 3D, they just updated all of them. They didn't really sort of let them gather dust. You got an all new demon and uh, all new imps and those sorts of things, and then they've just constantly reinvented them with every change in technology. So, and yeah, and the Doom guy, and sort of note the change now. He's now the Doom Slayer. Like, how trendy are we? And yeah, he just keeps soldiering on. He, finds himself in these awful situations. He just grabs his shotty and off he goes.
But you see, the
Because what else
reason,
can he do?
yeah, well, the reason why I think that is because, like, well, what else has he got on?
Yeah,
Like,
there's nothing else he can do. He just has to keep soldiering on.
it's a shit job, but someone's got to do it, right? Yeah, the Doomslayer. Yeah, I noticed. Oh shit! Yeah, I thought that there was, because I'm playing with like next to no volume. Because I fucking hate trying to sound mix this shit. Because usually what ends up happening, the game will be very loud and it can barely hear us. I like the mix that it's on right now, but I knew one of these fuckers was floating around here. And the problem with these guys is when they've got a parasite behind them, it is fucking annoying to get that final shot on them. Yeah, fall! I hate the fucking regenerators, and something tells me he's not the only one. There's going to be a few more of these. Now, I played through this game quite a number of times when I was in high school, and it became almost like fucking muscle memory after a bit. Being able to do all this, but I'm starting to realize, because I'm pretty sure when I was going through it back in the day, I tapped out around this part as well. It goes like full on sci-fi, like, you know, like the conversion between Quake 1 and Quake 2, where that whole like Lovecraftian theme that John Romero was going for back in the day, like just totally throw that out the window. Although I don't think he had any hand in the second one, and the second one's just like a full on sci-fi shooter.
Yeah.
Alright, what's going on with this guy? Look, that's a real badge, and this is a real fucking gun.
Yeah, shut up, man. I'm losing count here.
Yeah, 100,000? Well, that was the first one, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, get the suplex on him. So I'm not too sure what the hell... Nah, I don't want to use any of that rifle ammo, because if another regenerator rocks up, it's a thorn in the ass to deal with. I'm doing my best to try and remember if there is. I'm really not sure. Might just be a chance we have to take, gents. Got him. Got him. I actually really like the semi-auto. I get a bit pissed off when people give it a bad rap. It's like that moment in The Last Supper. Oh Christ, now you find religion. Were you ever big on the horror games? Like, I know some of the bigger ones probably came out, you know, probably around when you were in high school age. Like, that's when shit like Resident Evil and all of that were really starting to pop off. But did horror games ever do much for you?
I've played one or two over the years. Resident Evil's a funny one for me because my life was always in transition whenever one would come out, and I
Yeah.
was always preoccupied with something else. So yeah, because it came out on PC, I think originally back in the 90s, not
I believe it did, and I think
consoles.
PlayStation 1, I think, might have been one as well. I don't
Yeah.
think it came out on anything else. It's had a very weird history with consoles. Like, for most of the 2000s, they were basically GameCube exclusives. Like the Resident Evil 2 and 3, I think, got re-released. On the GameCube, the Resident Evil 1 remake, and I believe Resident Evil 0, like all of those were GameCube exclusives.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the films came out, but in 2002, I was really heavily invested in Star Wars Episode 2 and The Lord of the Rings. And yeah, I was in college at the time. So yeah, it always, whenever a big release of that would come out, I was always sort of in the midst of something else. There's a great game I was reading about called Outlast, so I was excited to see it's on the Steam Deck because it looked incredible. You're exploring an abandoned mental institution, and it just looked unreal, very nerve-wracking and unsettling. And so I definitely want to get around to that as well. So horror,
See, I think there's just something about like why do horror games get all of the like, you know, they seem to just be a great fit for almost any occasion. Why do horror games work the way they do? Well, similar to my pet peeve about everyone comparing video games to movies, I think because horror games, especially like the horror genre of movies, is always, why would the character do that? That's so dumb. Well, now you're in a position where you can be that character that stops doing dumb things. I think that's the reason why horror games are so popular.
yeah,
Like, you know, oh, like, why are they doing that? Any normal person wouldn't do that. Well, it's a fucking movie. Like, they're not normal people. Um, but when you're playing as the main character, well, that's one of the strengths when the main character doesn't have flaws like that and you can self-insert into the story. You don't have to be running up the stairs when you could be running out. Like, you don't have to do something dumb. Like in a Scream movie, you can, you know, pull out a shotgun and kill Ghostface in a game. Whereas the main character probably won't do that
yeah,
in the movie. I think that's the reason why. It's because you are then in a position where you don't have to obey the frustrations that people have with horror movies anymore. If you want to run away, fucking run away. If you want to kill whatever the threat is, then kill whatever the threat is.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, man, but lately fucking horror games just seem to be booming at the moment. Like, the more creepy, Lovecraftian shit you can shove into one, the better, it seems.
Yeah. Eldritch horrors.
Yeah, you'll find all sorts of weird shit in there. Hey, what was the thing with the, oh, I'm sure it sounds Lovecraftian, but what was the thing that we were talking about fucking ages ago where the sky rips open and there's a giant eye?
Yeah, that's Lovecraft. That's an Eldritch
Oh,
horror. Yeah,
you'd chuck yourself off a cliff if you saw that in real life, wouldn't you?
the great old ones. Yeah. But there was a funny, I was at the supermarket a couple of years ago now, and in your mind, picture the iPod or the iPhone screen when someone calls. Like it's got someone, it's got the word calling in the green phone. Famous Lovecraft story is the Call of Cthulhu, and some guy had this shirt where it's the iPhone screen. It's got Cthulhu calling. I thought, yeah, I'll pay that. That's great.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, the Call of Cthulhu.
One of the things that makes me die a little bit inside when it comes to talking about like Lovecraftian adaptations and all that kind of stuff is that most people look at Cthulhu and ask, can we get him into the Monsterverse? And I just sort of die inside a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I don't think Cthulhu was meant to be thought of as a kaiju.
Yeah. No, they're the great old ones. And one of the, and he wouldn't really work in that universe because a tenet of Lovecraft's writing is the notion of forbidden knowledge. Whereas in the Monsterverse, they're studying these creatures and researching them and trying to work out what they are and where they come from. But that only leads to doom in Lovecraft. There's this notion that there's just things we're better off not knowing. And but I'm looking forward to the future plans for the Monsterverse. I love aquatic kaiju. They're my jam. So I was really excited to
What,
see
like
the trailer.
Leviathans and shit like that?
Yeah, in season 2, there's a Kraken, And there's I think it's a Russian movie. It might be Norwegian. It came out. I've got a copy of it. I need to watch it called Kraken, a giant squid. Is yeah, that's yeah, it is my bag, baby. Aquatic marine kaiju. Um, yeah, what? That's not mine. It's not my bag. It is my bag, baby.
Well, it's interesting because all life came from the sea, right?
Yeah, I did watch. It was kind of interesting. I did watch a Godzilla animated film, not one of the Netflix ones. It was called. Uh, oh, I'm trying to think of its name. Because he was barely in it. It was called Godzilla the Planet Eater, and like I'm like an hour into it, and he's barely in it. Like he hasn't even hardly been mentioned. And we and they're sort of teasing me. They mentioned Ghidorah, and that should just send shivers through, anyone in the story when you hear that name. But yeah, like, hello, you do plan to have Godzilla in your Godzilla movie, right? Hello, is this thing on?
Can you like what was the because that's a trend that's happened a lot over the last 10, 15 or so years. The titular character not rocking up until like over 50% of the movie is shown.
Yeah,
Like one of the biggest fucking examples of this for me was Batman in The Dark Knight Rises. Like where the fuck is he?
yeah,
Like, like what the fuck? Bruce Wayne the musical is what it is. Like where the fuck is Batman?
yeah.
Like, cause Batman, like that's a 3 hour long movie almost, right? And Batman is probably in like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, someone did the count. Yeah, he's barely in it. Yeah, it's kind of weird that. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, the scenes that he's in are great, but for the like, it's a movie called The Dark Knight Rises. Well, it's about Batman. It's about Bruce Wayne rising. That's not what it fucking says on the poster. All
Yeah,
right.
Bruce Wayne rising.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne rising. Like that's why I said Batman Returns. I remember even Kev Smith said that there's no fucking hide nor hair of Batman returning. Like we're following this baby casket through the sewers. We're following Max Shrek. We're following the Red Triangle Circus Gang. Like it's a good like 35, 40 minutes before Batman fucking returns.
Yeah. Well, this is Burton completely unfiltered. They were, there's an old saying, you never get high on your own supply. But after the jaw-dropping success of the first one, they gave him carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. And yeah, this is pure
See,
Burton.
that is something that I agree with. I think Kev Smith said that in his commentary with Mark Bernard, and it was the only way a Batman movie like Returns gets made is off the success of a previous entry. Like had Burton had gone to them back in '89 with his idea for Batman Returns, they would have told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
straight
no, they would have. Yeah.
like straight away. Like had he have pitched what he wanted to do for Returns for the first movie, they would have told him fuck off. There's no way that movie would have been made without a prior successful entry.
Yeah, well, even reading about the genesis of the first film is really fascinating. And it went through a lot of iterations. There was, because people forget just what a giant shadow the 60s show cast. Like it really set the tone for a long way forward. And there was genuine serious thought to doing it as something more lighthearted, and more comical with someone like Bill Murray in the role, and gradually it evolved into a more darker take that, you know, that they wanted to envision it more as in the spirit of Batman's early days, when he was this sort of creature of the night. And yeah, it's kind of evolved over time, but it's a really fascinating sort of story how Batman 1 got made.
Yeah, you know what really pisses me off? Like, there'll be another fucking director coming around the corner and be like, yeah, well, I'm taking inspiration from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I immediately stop giving a fuck. I don't care what their story is and all of that. But see, this is something that I find quite interesting because a few people have told me about this. There's actually a lot of Schumacher and West moments that creep into these Matt Reeves movies, apparently. So
Yeah, I definitely picked up on it. Yeah.
I'm sort of I'm very interested actually in giving that 2022 one the shot now, because I'm like, well, that's awesome, because for the longest time people just kept fucking ignoring those movies. I'm like, why? Oh, Jesus Christ. But I'm glad, because I think we're starting to really move away from that. Um, because I mean, like, you can only draw inspiration from that fucking book so many times, man. Like, almost everything. Like, Nolan's done it, Burton's done it, fucking, the last, like, 60 animated movies have all done it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sick and tired of that book. Snyder did it. Like, just constantly going back to that. I'm like, I want something a bit more zany and a bit more outlandish. Is that too much to fucking ask? Apparently it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few Batman books on the way. I ordered Batman the Cult. It finally has a new printing after decades. Bernie Wrightson did that story, so I'm looking forward to that. Um,
Yeah.
I've got Batman Prey, which kind of redefined how that was the one where, like, people picture Hugo Strange in their minds. That's the one that kind of set the tone for that, for every subsequent appearance he ever did. What else I've got? I've read about this for years, and I've never been able to get a complete set, but I got the miniseries Batman City of Light on its way, where something happens and Gotham City is just perpetually daylight and no shadows in it. Like, what does the Dark Knight do when he can't hide in the shadows anymore? I thought, wow, what a cool idea. I'm looking forward to reading that. So, yeah, I've got a few Batman bits and bobs and bits on their way.
Oh, that reminds me. Hang on, where's my phone? I gotta text you these fucking bad boys that rocked up over the week. I really, I've had a lot of fun fucking around with these. Yeah, and I'm about the same. I've got shit that's fucking lost in transit. I got my new glasses today.
Okay.
Um, my contacts, because of all the fucking flash flooding that's been going on.
Yeah.
I still need to wait for my new contacts to rock up, but I'm glad that I've got a pair of goggles that can at least, it's day and night's difference. And since my last checkup was like 2019, I think they said, like, yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, it's awesome. Um, Having that all sorted out. Now these guys are something else. Um, all right. I've been having a lot of fun with these figures. Good shit. Yeah, so I finally got my trans arts for alright, just texting them through to you now. My trans arts for Dinobot 2 and Cheetor 2. Fucking
Yeah.
schmick, man. Get a load of these. Right, yeah. I'm thinking about selling my riot gun and picking up the striker. Or maybe not just yet. Capacity. Perspicacity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and did you see that there's a Studio Series Sunstreaker coming out? So I got fucked by buying that Siege one. See what I mean, man? Don't ever buy shit that's like 2 or 3 years out.
Yeah, they fucked me.
Yeah, they fucked you. Well, fuck you hard then, Tim. Yeah. So I don't get. Oh, mate, I've been fucking salty about that all week. I'm like, nah, fuck them. I'll do it more like Rambo 3 style. What do you reckon, John? Fuck them. Oh, wait a minute. TMP final upgrade. Eh, I don't think firepower really matters with the rifle. I mean, a headshot's a headshot. Killer 7? Yeah, I probably could. Reload speed leaves something to be desired.
Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Come back any time.
Alright, is there a typewriter here so I can lay down a hard save, or is he just gonna fucking annoy me all day? There's gotta be one here somewhere. Why would they have one? Okay, maybe in the next area then?
Did you send it through?
Yeah, I did. Have you not got them yet? I sent them to your phone.
No, not yet.
What the fuck's going on here?
Timothy.
Yeah, it says they're sent through.
No, I haven't got them yet. I'll give it another minute.
Yeah, alright, if not, I'll drop them in the chat. I think that's how it all works. So what, no fucking save point. Heiko, ready for World War III. Well, it's been going on for how long now? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting with some of the things that are going on in the world right now. Like, I channel a bit of Devon Sawa when people ask me, like, don't you watch the news? I hate that fucking show.
Yeah, it picks the laziest fuck it can find. Idle hands.
When's the last time you've seen that?
Oh, it's been many, many years. Just the occasional clip.
Idle hands. Oh, no, I didn't do it. Okay, I did it, but it wasn't my fault. I can't believe you told me to smoke that shit.
Yeah, funny movie.
Was that pre or post Final Destination?
Pre, I think. Yeah, that
I
came
think-
out in the late 90s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was too, yeah. Where are these other fuckers hiding? Oh, give me a break. Maybe poker's just not your game, Ike. How is that not instant death? Instant death. Nice. Ah, shit. So what's brought on the Batman phase all of a sudden? Just items that you've been wanting to tick off the list for a while?
Yeah, I'd heard of Batman the Cult, but never got around to reading it. It was pretty good story apparently, and I finally you may have heard of a character called Grendel, created by Mike Wagner. He is kind of a
It sounds
supervillain.
familiar. Why is it familiar?
He's like a supervillain criminal mastermind. He's got like a black mask with these eye patches similar to Spider-Man, and he fights with this like scimitar sort of weapon. He's had a few crossovers with Batman. He's kind of an independent sort of publisher hero. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I got the omnibuses of that story. You know how we sometimes laugh and joke about Chucky and the White House and Ghostface on a on Mars or something,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much what happened. It starts out as this kind of straightforward um, superhero costume identity uh, sort of story, and by volume four, it's this Grendel is like this avatar of aggression, and it's there's aliens, it's on another planet, and it's yeah, like this whole epic story from beginning to end that Matt Wagner had written and illustrated since the sort of mid 80s. So, but it was published sporadically, and it was kind of a inconvenient to sort of. I wanted to read the story from beginning to end. It's had like mini series here and there over the years in between his other work, and it's a bit of a rabbit warren to find a proper reading order. But these omnibus editions were coming out because I think Netflix announced a film adaptation or a television adaptation, and it never got greenlit. It never went into full production, but they did republish a lot of the stories in proper chronological order. So I can finally sit down and read Grendel from beginning to end the way the author intended it. Because yeah, he's a highly intelligent criminal mastermind and can physically back it up. So he's a good foil for Batman. He's probably one of the better crossovers because he's a very worthy adversary for Batman.
Obviously, what we need to do is focus all of our money, effort, and resources into our La Fleas TV show.
Yeah, LaFleas, yeah, Agent Orange.
It's not. Why do I get the feeling that that's gonna fucking happen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I hate the fucking news. You and me both, mate. 100%. I'm exactly the same. I just channel a bit of Steve Zahn. I've got something more powerful than your psychosis. It's called a volume knob. The only thing I have to do to make you go away is turn it counterclockwise.
Yep. I picked up David Cope's not new book, sort of it's been out for a few years now, Aurora, because I watched Cold Storage over last
Oh, so
weekend,
you
and
watched the movie?
I did, yeah, I read the book
Yeah, awesome.
during the COVID year, and I saw the film.
Was it
Uh,
was it COVID energy?
it was
Big
gory, yeah. It was
big
a bit
COVID
more of
energy.
yeah, it was more kind of a slapstick comedy, and they really played up the gore factor as well. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's a lean, tight hour and a half. So yeah, it's hard to criticize anything about it because it's not designed to be deep and meaningful. It's designed as a light piece of entertainment. So, and I'd always wanted to get around to his second book, Aurora. So yeah, I got that today actually as I got home. So I might read a few chapters over the weekend. There's a good documentary that I haven't watched yet on the history and evolution of the Batmobile. So I have a copy of that ready to go as well. How it's
Oh
looking
yeah.
at, I think it primarily focuses on the ones that have been in films, but it does have a general overview of how like its history in the comics as well and the TV shows.
I actually quite like the Adam West car one. I mean, like my favorite is the Batman Forever one. Um, I'd like to get a toy of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. I think McFarlane has done a version of that
I
recently.
know
Yeah.
some of those toys look really impressive. I shudder at the price tag on some of them.
Yeah.
Like the sonar suit Batman looks great. Like I'd love to have it, but fuck man. Like
Yeah.
I need to sell a kidney to like get that complete set.
Yeah.
The Robin figure for Forever looks great. I heard that he was gearing up to do the thermal suits from Batman and Robin as well, which will be really cool to have, the black and silver suits.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
Um, oh, it's just to sell a toy. Yeah, what? And the fucking Bat missile wasn't dipshit?
What are you,
Like, nothing annoys me more than that. It's to sell toys. The Batmobile looks like a toy in those Schumacher movies. It's a fucking toy in the Burton movies as well.
come back?
You know what I mean? Like, it turns into a bat missile to go down a very narrow alleyway. If that's not to sell a toy, I don't know what is. Every time someone gives me the shits when I say I like Batman Forever, oh, but all the fucking Dutch tilts that Schumacher does, I bring up that narrow fucking bat missile scene from Batman Returns, and then of course there's always an excuse for why it's so shit. And I just realized this is the end of the fucking game. I cannot believe this is the end of the game, really. Holy shit, we'll finish this tonight. Teen Titans. I actually used to watch that a little bit when Cartoon Network was spruiking it as this whole new thing. Because that is the Dick Grayson Robin, isn't it? In that cartoon.
What's so funny?
The one from the 2000s, yeah, I believe it
Yeah,
is.
you know the early 2000s one that Cartoon Network was spruiking back in the day with like Beast Boy and Starfire and Raven and all of that. I'm pretty sure that is the Dick Grayson Robin in that, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. And there was a good underrated show called Young Justice that Greg Weisman developed, where you had Superboy and a few others. That was a really good show as well. The Teen Titans. There was a time when they were DC Comics' biggest title, their biggest seller, back in the 80s. The Marv Wolfman, George Perez days.
Yeah, well, our take is slightly different.
Yeah, our films are darker than Marvel's.
As he snapped the necks of several journalists.
I love that. Yeah, the outhouses.
Now, I can't remember much about this boss fight at all. I was going to reload and just buy a rocket launcher and fucking smash this guy with it. Actually, I might even do that. Because we did lay down a hard save, right? Yeah, let's reload that. We'll sell the riot gun. Or we might even just sell the Killer 7. But what we'll do is we'll sell all that shit and we'll buy a Watsy.
What are you selling?
And there is a reason behind that. Like Hasbro. So what's next after 4? I'm actually thinking Fall of Cybertron next. And then maybe something else, because these before Resident Evil 5, because these over-the-shoulder games are just doing my fucking head in at the moment. It'll be nice to play something that isn't over-the-shoulder. I actually was thinking about doing a run through Ocarina of Time again, and doing a 100% of that. Just something different. Just to sort of detox over-the-shoulder shooters. Hang on, where's that rocket launcher? Alright, so it's 30 grand. Alright, yeah, no, we can make that up easy. Yeah, just sell the Killer 7 and then we'll have it. Yep, sounds good.
What are you buying?
Yeah, this should do it.
Strange.
And the other reason why I want to do this is because I believe when you do a new game on Resident Evil 4, what ends up happening is all of your items carry over when you do that. So Ashley will be able to hit full health pretty quick. Like, I'm not going to play through this again right after finishing it. Like, that's going to be fucking... No, but if I ever decide to screw around with this thing again... Oh, that's right. You can only carry one of these things at a time, can't you? Yeah, alright, fair enough. That's all good. We'll go and do the Saddler fight now then. Because I thought this didn't happen till way later, but it's happening now. My memory's all over the shop. Maybe Requiem. See, because we were talking about that earlier. Resident Evil 9, like Alien versus Predator Requiem. You know, I'm trying to think what actually happens in that movie, and it's been so long since I've seen it. I don't know about Resident Evil 9, though. You know, I did fire up the remake for Resident Evil 2, and I was playing around with that for the first time last weekend. Fuck, man. I stopped playing it because I think that actually might make a pretty interesting stream. Going through the remake of that. Stop your grinning and drop your linen. I actually really like the atmosphere of that remake. That might make for some pretty funny moments. It's like a mix of Resident Evil 2 and 4. Well, that's what it looks like. Is that Requiem? Now, I'm not too sure how this whole thing is going to play out. But let's just try it anyway. Because I think the idea of this is we hold on to the rocket launcher until it's time to actually do the final blow. And then what we do is Ada will throw us a special rocket launcher, but we don't use it. We hang on to it. I can't even remember what's special about it. It's got a red missile on it, I think, but that's it. He had like a business card and everything. A business card? Wow, that's a real fucking achievement. Yeah, Jelly, you want a fresh one? Ooh! Yeah, go on, give him what for. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but since we were talking about Paul W.S. Anderson earlier, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he do Event Horizon as well?
Was that him or Paul Verhoeven?
I'm
No, it
not.
might have been. Yeah, I think you're right. It was Paul W.S. Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm a bit confused about that. Because that one actually wasn't too bad, but I wonder sometimes is the reason why that movie has held up as well as it does is because it had such an awesome cast.
Yeah, that's the key to it. Those guys can elevate a lot of fairly average material. Yeah, the cast really just elevated that movie so much. And it took what could have been a fairly run-of-the-mill, by the numbers movie into like a truly unsettling horror movie because they really sold it. Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne, Jason Isaacs, Kathleen Quinlan. Yeah, how did they get a cast that stacked? Because none of them really go in for that kind of movie, but yeah, absolutely, yeah, the cast really lifted that.
Yeah, because they knew that ship is fucked.
Yeah, that's the line that's always stayed with me. Yeah, but again, just the way that actor delivered that line, I don't know much, but I do know one thing, and he's about to say something really profound and revelatory, and it just cuts back to it. This ship is fucked.
Yeah, it's when they're all talking about the weird ass visions people have been seeing or they're prone to
Yeah.
seeing and stuff like that. And he's just like, no, I haven't seen anything and I don't need to see anything, but I do know this. This ship is fucked. Just straight up. That's all he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I might need to fucking break rule number 2 and just drop a bomb on this fuck. I'm getting real sick and tired of that map button. Just annoying the fuck out of me. Oh, my other favorite one was from Cap Miller. You know, I'm gonna move the Betty away from the event horizon until and fire fucking missiles at it till I'm sure the horizon has been destroyed. Fuck this ship.
Yeah, that's a great line as well. Yeah.
Fuck's sake, Leon, did you not have your wheat bix this morning? Oh, and the fucker's already jumped over there. We might have to just cheat and use the missile. Nah, fuck that. Just stab him. I'm going for the finale. I just don't want to use that special rocket launcher. How many more hits does this fucker need? Yeah, now, Ada will throw this thing down. No, the magazine that I read back in the day didn't actually specify this, but it's called Rocket Launcher Special. You don't have to use this to win. Or maybe you do. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just use it. Who cares? We dick around for too much longer and you'll fucking kill me. Yeah, we'll get one more hit on him and see what happens. I could have sworn that that was it. Oh, okay, so you can just kill him the normal way. I didn't think that was possible. Oh, well there you go then. I honestly didn't think you could do that. I always thought a cutscene kicked in when you shot the rocket at him and it didn't matter what it was, but apparently not.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Had I have realised there wasn't much left to this game, I would have knocked it out midweek. I didn't realise we were right at the end there. I probably should have just kept playing the last time I did it.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Yeah, I always thought Ada was a bitch.
Gotta go. If I were
What do you mean, elevated horror?
What does that mean? Elevated horror.
He's just pissed off.
Yeah, that sounds kind of boring to me.
Yeah. What does that mean? No need to be a bitch about it.
Yeah, okay, fine. You don't have to be a bitch about it.
Oh my god. You got the jet ski key. Alright, so... Oh, well, hang on. What did he drop? A shitload of money, apparently. Look, we're not just doing this for money, we're doing it for a shitload of money. Just before we jet ski out of here, I just want to check this thing real quick. Examine. Rocket launcher special. A rocket launcher that fires a special rocket. A perfect weapon to exterminate the boss. But all RPGs... Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very weird one. I just remember falling into the habit of never using it. during the Sadler fight. I always kept it. It's just a keepsake for me.
We have to get off this island now. It's gonna blow any minute.
It's gonna what?
Alrighty, now we get on the jet ski, and then I think that's pretty much it. We need to do like a Death Star trench run. Also, remember to catch Ashley, because she cannot jump down these things on her own.
Hang on, sweetheart.
Alrighty. This is just another excuse from Capcom to have a mini game in. And a big doomsday count. I always love a clock when it's used. I remember we mentioned this on the Escape from New York commentary. The fact that you've got that little watch that's constantly giving Snake Plissken these updates that he's going to die soon. And it's awesome that they use it again in Escape from LA as well. But we got 50 seconds on the clock before the end of the world, but it doesn't matter because I drove right into that fucking stalagmite. I was thinking about that through the week as well. I had a good chuckle from Cliffhanger where he kills that guy with the stalactite.
Hang on, sweetheart.
But who could forget Michael Rooker's "Season's over, asshole"?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah,
Do you remember that? Where he just fucking blows that guy away with the shotty?
yeah, season's over, asshole.
Yeah. That needs to be a soundbite. Yeah, Travers, you've lost your mind.
I know. Just hold on.
Alright, look, I am really just playing this by ear at the moment. And then that should be it. It's just a very weird thing that they have at the end of this game. I'm sure Resident Evil 5 has... I mean, Resident Evil 5 ends in a fucking volcano.
Ashley! Where are ya?
Yeah, alright, Leon, time to go and get on the piss now, mate.
Let's go home.
Sounds like a great idea. Mission accomplished. Right, Leon?
You know, but this is another... I just want people to remember this as the game's credits are about to roll. This is another one of those classic meme moments of, you know, when someone will have like the 1996 PlayStation 1 Resident Evil screen grab, and then they'll have this right next to it, and then the caption will be what people think Resident Evil was 20 years ago, and it's the first game in 96. What Resident Evil actually was 20 years ago, and it's Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Like one of those that made me realize that we were all getting on a little bit was when I saw that Legend of Zelda one. I mention this a few times a year, and it's a Link to the Past Link with the pink hair and the sprite from the Super Nintendo, and then it's Twilight Princess Link doing some awesome shit, and then it's what people think The Legend of Zelda was 20 years ago, what it actually was 20 years ago. And when I look at the year, it's 26 now, right? It's been 20 years since Twilight Princess came out.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, that is so hard to believe, man. I was only just starting high school when that game came out, and that was just, everyone was talking about Twilight Princess when that came. Like, it was just the fucking, you know, the bee's knees.
Yeah.
And it's been 20 years since then, man. That's crazy. Like let this milestone sink in. It's been 20 years since Rocky Balboa now. Fucking Fucking 2000.
fucking hell.
Yeah, 2000. It's been 20 years since the final Rocky film. That's like, I know, you know, if you want to count the Creed movies, of course it's different. But the last one where Rocky put on gloves and actually had a fight was 20 years ago. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, Capcom. We can't be too far off getting another Street Fighter trailer soon. It's coming out this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only, what, a couple of months away, I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Have you checked out Scream 7 yet? Or have you got like a rip of it yet?
No, not yet. There's a few other things I need to get to first, but I'm happy to wait. I wasn't at the ground floor of the last couple.
Yeah, alright, so I'll put a pin in that and we'll open it in another 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, it won't be that long. I'll get around to it this year, yeah.
Well, look at what's happening with now that everyone's out of the honeymoon phase with Resident Evil 9. You know, like, you know, it's funny, you know, because like sometimes I'll whack on a random Goosebumps episode from the 90s, right? Or I'll whack on a random Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, right? And then some fuckwit will rock up in my recommended saying it's worse than you remember. It was 33 fucking years ago. These series, man. Of course they're not gonna fucking hold up. You know?
Jesus.
But we're getting that with Resident Evil 9 now, like a week after its release. Don't believe the hype before you buy and all this kind of shit. God,
Jesus.
man. No, but actually, I'm kind of glad that's done. Yeah, so Resident Evil 4 is done. Also, actually, I was really gonna try and just buckle down and smash it. I didn't realize we were that close to it. Hang on, I just noticed someone in the credit that I need to double check real quick. Yeah, alright. That clearly wasn't who I thought it was. Yeah, but, you know, like, yeah, I could dive into Fall of Cybertron next, but that's just another over-the-shoulder shooter, so I was thinking about something to sort of decompress all of that. But the next one, we're definitely doing Fall of Cybertron before the next Resident Evil. And we'll see, because we actually know that one fires up. Yeah, Shinji Mikami, there he is. I didn't know he directed this. You know, it's funny because I saw people were saying, what's going to happen to the Legend of Zelda series when Shigeru Miyamoto dies? And I was sitting there thinking, I don't think he's directed one, as far as I'm aware, since The Wind Waker. Like, I think Eiji Aonuma has done them all since then, hasn't he? So I'm like, so in a way, it's already transitioned to someone else. So I don't think you got anything to worry about.
I've rescued the subject.
Like, I was trying to think, like, when's the last time Miyamoto directed a Mario game? Probably Mario World, and that was 35, 36 years ago.
Yeah, Jesus.
Story of my life.
Yeah, I don't quite understand the Hunnigan moment at the end there. I mean, I know Leon's a bit of a pussy hound. But it's sort of, it's like the Mel Gibson tapes. I'm confused, because all the stuff he doesn't like about her, isn't that what attracted him to her in the first place?
Yeah.
Oh, upload. I don't really care about any of that. I wasn't going out of my way. You can now buy the Infinite Launcher and Matilda from the merchant. That's great. The Matilda, for people who might not know, is a secret weapon you could get in Resident Evil 2. And it's sort of been, I don't know, like Leon's bitch for the better part of 30 years. But no, there we have it. That's Resident Evil 4 done and dusted. I've noticed I was very, very rusty going through this one. And we get a new title screen as well. Unlocking that. I can't remember what the ones for Resident Evil 5 are, because it's been about 20 years since I've played them. But no, that's good to knock that one out. That's what she said. So I'm thinking, you know, because I think to do like a 100% Zelda run would be a nice sort of way of nice and cruisy, get the checklist out and go through them. And I don't know what it is. I've just been feeling to go through one of those games. I might even make it Twilight Princess. I'm not too sure yet. And see where that goes. But I mean, I don't know. I don't like getting in on the ground. It's like what you were saying about the Scream 7. Like I wasn't on the ground floor for it. I'm never on the ground floor for these fucking major releases when they come out. Like I didn't pick up Resident Evil 7 until like 4 or so years after it had come out.
Yeah.
This other one's a bit too fresh out of the oven for me, and I never even bothered with 8. Yeah, I don't know. I just channel a bit of Jimmy Wing, you know. Well, then maybe a gimmick would help.
Yeah, I
But
was editor of the school magazine.
yeah, but we're not all gimmicky, you know what I mean? But no one's listening to our shit. Well, then maybe a gimmick would help. Yeah, we've got the separate ways stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could probably do this, but I just think Ada is fucking boring. I mean, she's hot, but she's boring. Like, it's sort of how I see it. Assignment Ada is another one, which I guess. I always thought that one was time-based. I don't know. What else is there? And then I think we get the professional mode as well. But I think as far as the Mercenaries is a good mini game. Movie browser. I don't think there were all that many cutscenes though. It seemed to be pretty swift, I think. But yeah, no, that is that. I think though, as for the next stream, I'm really not too sure what it is. I mean, we got a couple of candidates to play next, and we'll I guess we'll figure that out when we come to it. I don't know when it'll be. I mean, shit's just very, very hectic at the moment. So I guess we'll just see when we go. It'll happen when it happens. I might have a fiddle around though with some of my, because I need to dig up my other controllers that I use for emulation and all that kind of stuff. Spoilers. And yeah, have a fiddle around with some of the games that I want to go through. But I think because that's going to be what like that's 2 over the shoulder games back to back right there. We might do something else before we dip into Fall of Cybertron, but Fall of Cybertron is definitely happening before Resident Evil 5. The timeline of events, which is canon, it all lines up for me. Because we had it all planned from the get-go. Because we filmed the trilogy back to back. And all those awesome buzzwords that people use. Yet I've got absolutely... Why is my mouse not coming out of that? Yeah, alright. Well, I guess we can close that down now. We don't need that anymore. And that's it for RE4, and we'll see where we go on the next one.